Winston Churchill, Statesman of Resolve and Legacy, 1874 to 1965. Winston Leonard Spencer. Churchill was born on November 30th, 1874, at Blenheim Palace, an estate steeped in aristocratic history. As the grandson of the 7th Duke of Marlborough, Churchill entered the world with the expectations of nobility. Yet, despite this prestigious heritage, his childhood was marked by emotional distance. His parents, Lord Randolph Churchill and Jenny Jerome, were often preoccupied with political and social engagements. Young Winston would find solace not in family warmth, but in books, imagination, and an emerging sense of destiny. Churchill's academic performance was unremarkable by conventional standards. He struggled in traditional subjects but excelled in English composition and history. Eventually, he enrolled at the Royal Military College, Sandhurst, where he graduated 8th in his class, an early indicator of his capability when sufficiently motivated. This education laid the foundation for a dual career as both a soldier and war correspondent, allowing Churchill to cultivate both martial experience and a public reputation through vivid and widely read dispatches. Churchill saw action in Cuba, India, Sudan, and South Africa. It was during the Second Boer War that he gained significant public attention. After being captured during a reconnaissance mission, Churchill staged a daring escape from a prisoner of war camp. His journey to freedom, covered in British newspapers, transformed him into a national hero. The experience significantly enhanced his public image and paved the way for his entry into politics. Churchill entered the British Parliament in 1900 as a Conservative MP. He later shifted to the Liberal Party in 1904, a controversial move driven by his commitment to social reform and free trade. In the following years, he served in key government positions, including President of the Board of Trade, Home Secretary, and First Lord of the Admiralty. During this period, Churchill advocated progressive social policies, yet his ambitions and forceful personality often put him at odds with political contemporaries.
As First Lord of the Admiralty during the First World War, Churchill was a principal architect of the Gallipoli campaign, an ambitious strategy intended to open a new front against the Ottoman Empire. The campaign ended in failure, resulting in heavy Allied casualties. Churchill was held largely responsible and resigned from his post. Rather than retreat into political obscurity, he chose to serve on the Western Front as a battalion commander, gaining first-hand experience of the war's brutal realities. After the war, Churchill rejoined the Conservative Party and held various high offices. However, during the 1930s, his views fell increasingly out of favor. He opposed Indian self-governance and vocally criticized the policy of appeasement towards Nazi Germany. These positions marginalized him politically. Nevertheless, Churchill remained a prolific writer and historian. His speeches and articles during this period warned of the growing threat posed by Adolf Hitler, warnings that would later be vindicated. In May 1940, as Britain faced the full force of Nazi aggression, Churchill was appointed Prime Minister. With much of Europe already occupied, Britain stood alone. Churchill's resolve and rhetoric became a crucial source of national morale. His speeches, including Blood, Toil, Tears and Sweat, and We Shall Fight on the Beaches, galvanized the public. Under his leadership, Britain resisted the Luftwaffe's bombing campaign, the Blitz, and maintained its stance as the last stronghold against fascism in Western Europe. Churchill cultivated critical alliances, notably with President Franklin D. Roosevelt and later with Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin. These relationships formed the basis of the Grand Alliance. Churchill played a pivotal role in strategic discussions, including those surrounding the D-Day invasion of Normandy in 1944. Though complex and sometimes strained, these alliances were instrumental in securing victory in Europe. On May 8, 1945, Victory in Europe Day, Churchill addressed a grateful nation, having led Britain through its darkest hours to triumph. In a surprising turn of events, Churchill's Conservative Party was defeated in the 1945 general election. Despite his wartime leadership, the public voted for change and reconstruction. Churchill, however, remained active in politics, returning as Prime Minister in 1951. His second term was less defined by conflict and more by international diplomacy, including managing Britain's role in a rapidly changing post-imperial world. He retired in 1955 but continued to exert influence as an elder statesman.
In 1946, Churchill delivered his famous Iron Curtain speech in Fulton, Missouri, coining a phrase that would define the ideological divide of the Cold War. He warned of Soviet expansionism and called for unity between the Western democracies. The speech marked an early public recognition of the Cold War's onset and further demonstrated Churchill's ability to foresee global shifts in power and ideology. Beyond politics, Churchill was a respected historian and writer. His multi-volume works on the First and Second World Wars, along with his historical writings, earned him the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1953. It was a rare honor for a statesman, acknowledging his mastery of the English language and his role in documenting the events of the 20th century. Churchill also pursued painting as a hobby, producing over 500 works in his lifetime. Yet another testament to his multifaceted intellect. Churchill passed away on January 24, 1965, exactly 70 years after the death of his father. His state funeral was attended by dignitaries from over 100 countries, including monarchs, presidents, and prime ministers. Along the River Thames, cranes bowed as his coffin passed, an iconic gesture of national mourning. He was interred at St. Martin's Church in Bladon, near his birthplace at Blenheim. It was a fitting return to where his remarkable journey began. Winston Churchill remains a towering figure in world history. Admired for his eloquence, strategic vision, and unwavering determination, he is remembered as the leader who stood against tyranny at a moment when few others would. His legacy is complex. He was a man of both tremendous foresight and significant controversy. Nevertheless, his contributions to the preservation of democracy and Western civilization during one of history's most perilous periods are indisputable. Churchill's life spanned 2 world wars, the decline of empire, and the emergence of the modern era. He once remarked, "History will be kind to me, for I intend to write it." And indeed, through his actions, writings, and oratory, Winston Churchill did not merely witness history, he shaped it. His life serves as a testament to the power of resilience, vision, and unwavering resolve in the face of overwhelming adversity.